Have you ever wondered if your pet is trying to tell you something? Sometimes their messages are subtle, a quiet plea for help hidden in plain sight. This is the story of Max, a golden retriever whose silent struggles almost went unnoticed. His journey taught his family a valuable lesson about listening with their hearts, and it might just help you understand your own furry friend better. Max was the sunshine of our lives. His tail was a constant thumping metronome of happiness, and his favorite thing in the world was a game of fetch. But one day, the rhythm changed. It started small. The ball would bounce, and Max, who usually launched himself after it like a furry rocket, would just watch it go. He'd get up slowly, maybe take a few steps, and then lie back down with a sigh. We thought, oh, he's just getting older. It's an easy excuse, isn't it? But getting older isn't a diagnosis. It's often a blanket we throw over problems we don't want to see. His appetite, once legendary, started to wane. His bowl, usually licked clean in seconds, would sit half full. We tried switching his food, adding tasty toppers, anything to entice him. He'd nibble a bit, but the old enthusiasm was gone. It was like his inner light was dimming. At night, he became restless. Instead of his usual deep, rumbling snores, he would pace the hallway. Whining softly, he'd settle in one spot, only to get up moments later and move to another. It was clear he was uncomfortable, searching for a relief he couldn't find. We'd call his name, and he'd just look at us with these sad, tired eyes. Then came the more obvious signs. One afternoon, he tried to jump onto the couch, his favorite napping spot, but his back legs gave way. He yelped, a sharp, painful sound that cut right through us. He landed in a heap on the floor, looking confused and embarrassed. That's when the excuses stopped. Seeing him in pain, truly struggling, was a wake-up call. We realized these weren't just random quirks of aging. They were chapters in a story of silent suffering. The vet visit was a blur of tests and worried looks. The diagnosis, severe hip dysplasia, made worse by arthritis. The vet explained that his lethargy, his lack of appetite, the pacing it was all connected. He wasn't being lazy or picky. He was in constant, nagging pain. Every movement was a chore. The vet said something that stuck with me. Pets are masters at hiding pain. It's a survival instinct. By the time they show obvious signs, the problem is often advanced. This is why we need to become pet detectives. Take changes in grooming habits. For example, is your cat, who was once impeccably clean, now looking a bit scruffy or matted? This can be a sign of pain that makes it hard for them to twist and groom, or it could be related to dental issues. For dogs, excessive licking or chewing at a specific spot, sometimes called a hot spot, is often a clear indicator of skin irritation, allergies, or even underlying joint pain. Max had been licking his hip joint, but we'd dismissed it as a simple habit. And what about their social behavior? A pet that suddenly becomes withdrawn, hiding under the bed or in a closet, might be feeling unwell or anxious. Conversely, a normally independent pet who suddenly becomes clingy and needy could also be signaling that something is wrong. They're seeking comfort because they feel vulnerable. Think about their potty habits. Any change accidents in the house, straining to go, or going more frequently is a major red flag that warrants an immediate call to the vet. It could signal anything from a urinary tract infection to kidney problems or diabetes. Even their breathing can tell a story. Is your pet panting more even when they're not hot or haven't been exercising? Is their breathing shallow, or do you hear wheezing or coughing? Respiratory issues can be serious and shouldn't be ignored. Another subtle sign is head pressing. If you ever see your pet standing and pressing their head against a wall or furniture for no apparent reason, it's a neurological sign that requires emergency veterinary attention. It's not a cute quirk, it's a cry for immediate help. For Max, the road to recovery began with a plan. Pain management, medication, joint supplements, and a special diet designed to reduce inflammation. We also started him on physical therapy, including gentle exercises and water therapy. The first time we put him in the therapy pool, he was hesitant. But as the warm water supported his weight, you could see the relief wash over his face. He started to paddle, slowly at first, then with more confidence. For the first time in months, he was moving freely, without pain. We made changes at home to it. We bought orthopedic beds and placed them in his favorite spots. We put ramps up to the couch and the car, so he no longer had to risk the painful jump. It was about changing his environment to fit his needs, not forcing him to endure ours. Slowly but surely, the old Max began to reappear. The first time he picked up his ball and brought it to us, tail wagging, was a moment of pure joy. It wasn't the explosive fetch of his youth, but it was a start. The light was coming back into his eyes. Max's story has a happy ending, but it's a powerful reminder. Our pets can't use words to say, "My hip hurts" or "I feel sick." They communicate through a language of behavior. It's our job, as the people who love them most, to learn that language. Pay attention to the small things. The subtle shift in energy, the uneaten food, the restless night. Don't just brush it off as getting old or being moody. Be their advocate. Be their voice. Your observation and quick action can be the difference between a life of hidden pain and one of comfort and happiness. If you notice any of these signs in your own pet, please don't wait. Talk to your veterinarian. You know your pet better than anyone. If your gut tells you something is off, it probably is. Thank you for listening to Max's story. If it helped you see your own furry friend a little differently, please share it. Let's all become better listeners for the ones who give us so much unconditional love. Thanks for watching.